Ever wondered what goes into editing stunning lingerie photos using Photoshop? In today's video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of my editing and retouching process. What you're currently watching is exclusive footage from the actual shoot. You can watch the actual behind the scenes video later after watching this video. Stay tuned. To retouch skin using the mixer brush tool in Photoshop, follow these steps. Separate the skin texture from the skin color using the frequency separation technique. This allows you to blend the colors without distorting the skin texture. Frequency separation is a technique used in Photoshop for portrait retouching that separates high and low frequency information into different layers. High frequency information includes fine details like hair, texture, pose, fine lines, and skin imperfections, while low frequency carry information about shadows, tone, and colors. Set up the mixer brush tool properly for skin retouching. If you're interested in a detailed video showcasing how to set up the mixer brush tool correctly, let me know in the comment section down below. When using the mixer brush tool, make gentle, feathered strokes in the direction of the skin's natural texture. Avoid making harsh, overlapping strokes which can distort the facial features. Focus on blending out uneven skin tones and blemishes, but be careful not to overblend and lose important skin details and texture. The goal is to even out the skin while preserving its natural looking texture. You can also use the mixer brush to fix makeup application issues or to blend in retouched areas seamlessly. Alright, so as you can see, I've just opened Photoshop, and let's just start by cleaning the backdrop. You can see when I zoom in, it has some markings. So I'm using the lasso tool. You can also use the spot removal tool. Personally, in my use case, I find the lasso tool works faster, especially when it comes to removing the marks on a backdrop, on a studio backdrop. Yeah, so I'll speed that up so that I don't take much of your time. And also to at least make the video shorter so that it doesn't bore you before you find value from it. Now that the backdrop is clean, let's just remove some imperfections from her skin using the healing brush tool. Her skin is fairly awesome. We're just removing a few bits of hair of small spots and also her dress. We just want to perfect everything. And so let me just speed this up so that it doesn't take much of your time. And also you already get the vibe, so we are removing the imperfections. Okay, now the skin is perfect. We have removed the little bit imperfections here and there. So now let's use my frequency separation action so that we separate the finer details from the low frequency details, basically separating the high frequency from the low frequency. So let's do that right away. I already have an action set for this so that I speed up my post-production. On the color layer, we are going to use the mixer brush tool. As you have seen, I've selected it. And of course, this is a soft brush. And we are gently feathering the skin, brushing gently and smoothly just taking your time. And of course, currently there are AI softwares that can do similar work, but personally, I've tried a few, though I haven't found one that does a perfect job like your own hands. The softwares are being updated every now and then. Until that time comes, that is when I'll fully switch to retouching high key portraits using AI software. All right. You see, as we are doing the soft, gentle brushes and strokes, you see the skin is coming out nicely. You start seeing the sculpture. It just becomes more interesting as we gently brush through her skin. So also I'm going to speed this up so that you already understand what this is all about. So let me just speed it up. All right. Now our skin is done. Look at how amazing it is. Wow. So I've just created a curves adjustment layer. I want to brighten up her eyes so that they pop a little bit more. So you're going to use a normal brush. Just paint slightly, and then obviously we'll reduce the opacity because we don't want it to look unrealistic. Yeah, there you go. Reduce opacity, zoom out, check if it's okay, reduce it again until you make it look realistic. Awesome. There you go. I'm satisfied with her eyes. Let me create another curves adjustment layer, and then I select from the brightest point of her skin. And then I just create a simple S curve so that the photo can pop more. You see the way it has popped, just increasing the contrast. And then obviously I'm reducing the opacity so that it doesn't come off as too strong. Wow, look at the final results. Just done basic. Don't miss out on the full video of our recent lingerie photoshoot at the makeshift studio with the same model. Click the link in the first pinned comment of this video to dive deeper into the creative process and see all the action unfold. This is the second image we are going to retouch using the mixer brush tool, or rather the mixer brush technique, as you'd prefer it. Okay, so you zoom in, and then obviously the first thing you need to do is clean up the backdrop as we have done with the first image. Just make sure the backdrop is clean and seamless. And then now you can proceed to the next steps. So I don't want to do the voiceover for this particular photo because already I'll obviously say the same things. So maybe you can just enjoy and follow along, and I'll make comments whenever it's necessary. Okay, let me just speed it up. You already know the drill. So let me speed it up so that we move to the next step. Yeah, zoom in so that we get the details. And make sure you just remove everything that is unnecessary in the backdrop. Yeah, zoom in so that we see her skin well. And this is the beauty of shooting your portraits with a higher megapixel camera. You can zoom in even 10 times more so that you see the details. You see how sharp and high quality it is. Obviously, I shot this portrait with the Nikon D850 and of course one light, camera right. You can see the direction of where the light is coming from, and obviously it's hitting her chest area and also her face. That is my frequency separation action in action. Yeah. And obviously on the color is the one where you use the mixer brush tool, soft brush, gently brushing over her skin. And obviously you are following her skin direction in that particular area that you're brushing. You can see on her nose, we were doing up and down strokes because that is the direction of the nose, up and down. And obviously, even here on the cheek, we're just following the direction of her skin texture so that you can achieve realistic, high quality images that have texture and the skin is evenly balanced and looks high key. Awesome. Now we're working on the neck area to just balance it out and even out the unevenness. Wow, the chest area starting to pop. Looks amazing, by the way. I'm not trying to overhype them, but you can even see the results for yourself in this behind the scenes while I'm doing the edits. Yeah, so let me just speed it up to save on time because I value your time. And by the way, while we are speeding it up, kindly hit the like button and subscribe. Since I'd be happy to share more of these videos if they interest you, especially the behind the scenes of what happens to a portrait, what happens in color grading. There are many tutorials I've planned for you guys, color grading tutorials. You see, for these portraits, they're just straight from camera. I've not done any color grading. I've just done skin retouching using the mixer brush tool. This is what we're doing today. We're not even doing the high-end color grading. We're just working with the image as it came from the camera. Awesome. Starting to pop. Let's continue working on her thigh area and legs. You can see when you zoom out, you can zoom in and out, you can see the effect. Let's finalize on her left leg. And by the way, guys, when you do high-end skin retouching, bear in mind this takes a lot of time, especially if you're a beginner in this craft, in this editing craft. You need to invest a lot of time to perfect the art. One image can take you up to 30 minutes, especially if you're a beginner. But now when you get used to it, you have actions in place. At least roughly, like in my use cases, an image can take me between 10 to 15 minutes to fully edit it out, clean up the backdrop, do the high-end skin retouching, do the color grade, and export the image. Roughly 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the photo. Because even in this tutorial, we're not even touching the hair. We're just working on the skin mostly and just brightening up the eyes slightly. We're not even removing those red veins in a situation where maybe the model has red veins on her eyes. So we're just focusing mainly on cleaning up the backdrop and retouching her skin. So I'm opening the Liquify. I want to do minor adjustments on her. I'm doing a tad bit of adjustments on her thigh area, not really thigh, on her waist area and slightly her tummy area. Minute details just to pop up the image more. Already she has a great body, so we're just emphasizing on that. We're not trying to manipulate or change how she looks. We're just doing just minute touch-ups. Actually, that's the right word I could use in this situation. Just touch-ups, so that we can emphasize on what she already has. Awesome. Let me speed that up so that we save on time. All right, now we are done with the Liquify tool. And here is your final image. There you go. Wow. Looks really amazing.